There are so many people that just go to the driving range and have no idea what they're doing. I mean, they're just hitting balls after balls, and then they're surprised or they get irritated when they don't see something working or they don't see their hard work paying off and they don't understand why. So I think it's very important to know how to manage your range session and make the most out of it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So as I mentioned in the beginning, today I'm going to talk about how to make your range sessions more effective and make sure that you're not wasting time just hitting balls at the driving range with no purpose. I think one of the most important things that I have learned and something that you guys need to keep in mind as well is that practice does not make perfect. Yes, I said that right. Practice does not make perfect. So what makes perfect is perfect practice. Doing the wrong thing over and over again, yes, it might make you a little bit better at doing the wrong thing, but it is still the wrong thing. If you really want to achieve results, you have to make sure that you are practicing the right thing. After warming my body up, what I like to do is dive straight into the drills that I am working on. You guys have obviously seen me do this drill many times if you have watched my videos on my channels before. What I'm really doing here is focusing on improving my swing by making sure that I am doing drills that are actually going to help correct the errors that I have. Obviously, you guys know why I am doing this drill if you have already watched my videos before. If not, you can also click on the video on the link down below to learn more about why I am using this ball and practicing this drill. This type of practice can be considered block practice. So what block practice is basically you're doing something not really without purpose, but you are doing something over and over again, basically to get it ingrained into your mind, whether it is a motion, a swing thought, something that you are working on. Block practice is very good when you are trying to implement swing changes into your swing. This is probably the most common type of practice that a lot of people do. So yes, it can be beneficial as well. It is something that is very important because it is a way for your body to start getting used to different patterns or different ways of swinging the golf club or whatever you are working on. When I'm doing block practices and focusing on swing mechanics, it's important to note that the result or what the ball is doing is not always the most important thing. Yes, I still do pay attention to what the ball is doing, especially when I have different feels in my body. But at the same time, what you're trying to do here might not be the most comfortable thing. If you have used this ball before, you would know that it's not the most easiest to swing with it. Therefore, sometimes when you are doing drills, it is not the most important thing to look at the outcome, but just focus on the process because what you're doing, as I mentioned, is an important part of growing and learning and getting better at your game by improving your swing. This is probably one of the most easiest way to improve your swing because you are ingraining it by repeating the motion over and over again. Many players that go to the driving range do block practices because most of the time what you see is they're standing over the ball, probably using the same club and just hitting ball after ball after ball. As I said, block practices can be beneficial, but also as I said before, perfect practice is what gets you better. As you can see here, although I am performing a block practice session right now, I am still focusing on my alignment. I'm using a ball. I am looking in front because there is also a mirror placed in front of me, so I'm able to see the things that I am working on, and I take my time to hit each ball. I don't just rake one after another without really paying attention to what I'm doing. It's very important to make sure that your focus is there and that you're focusing on what you need to do versus just hitting ball after ball and not really having any intention behind what you are doing. After spending some time working on my drills and doing block practice, I move on to random practice. Random practice is exactly as it sounds. You choose different targets, you change your club, you basically do what you would do on a golf course. As you can see here, what I'm doing is going through my entire pre-shot routine. Before I decide that I'm going to hit the ball, I choose a target, and I make sure that I hit it as if I am on the golf course and the target is the green or the pin or whatever I'm choosing to hit. Random practice is important for several reasons. First off, it obviously simulates more of a golfing environment. When you are doing something such as block practice, you might be focusing more on swing mechanics, whereas when you're on the golf course, you should be focusing more on what you need to do to get the ball in the hole. When you're performing random practice, there's obviously an outcome because you go through your pre-shot routine, you've obviously chosen a target, and you're able to see where your ball lands in regards or in relation to the target. This is obviously different from block practice where you're basically aiming at the same thing over and over again, and after a while it kind of becomes more muscle memory than actually simulating what you do on a golf course. Obviously, it's very hard to find a situation where you would hit 2 exactly similar shots or 3 or 4 or 5 on a golf course. Most of the time, you would be changing targets, changing clubs, and doing random practice. Another importance of implementing random practice into your practice session is that it helps solidify your pre-shot routine. As I've mentioned before, the pre-shot routine is very important because it prepares your body to hit the shot that it's going to hit. If you do not have a solid pre-shot routine, there is a chance that your body might not be ready to hit the shot that you want it to hit when you want to hit it. This is something that a lot of amateurs face because, as I said, they rarely do random practice but more often do block practices. When you do block practices, chances are you're not going through your full pre-shot routine, you're not choosing a proper target before you hit your shot, and you're not simulating what you would be doing on the golf course. This is why random practice is very important. Random practice not only allows you to hit shots that you would on the golf course, simulating more of a golf environment, but also shows you a little bit about outcomes so you can kind of see where your ball is going and what it's doing. When you're looking at block practices, as I said before, as you are focusing on your swing mechanics, it's not the most important thing to look at what the ball is doing, but focusing on what your swing is doing. When you are performing random practice, you can focus on what your ball is doing and see how far away you are from your targets. Knowing how far you miss and how far left or right you miss from your targets can also help you choose better targets when you're on the golf course. Random practice definitely takes more time, more energy, and more effort as compared to block practice, but as I said before, it can be very beneficial not only to improving your swing but also improving your game and even your course management. As you can see in this video, even though I'm using the same club for a couple of shots, I'm changing targets on every single shot. Random practice can be different for everybody, and depending on what you choose to do, you can change your club on every single shot, you can change targets on every single shot. Whatever you do, make sure you make it feel as realistic as possible and do the exact same thing that you would do if you were on a golf course. Another way to make your practice sessions more entertaining is to give yourself challenges. One of the challenges that my dad and I used to do, and I still do this on the practice range, is to basically create a fairway for myself and then hit 14 drives and see how many of those shots I can get in the fairway. Obviously, for these drives, you are going through your full pre-shot routine and imagining as if you are hitting a real shot on a golf course. The fairway that you choose can be as wide or as narrow as you need it to be. On a driving range like this, you might want to give yourself a little bit more leeway because obviously floater balls don't fly as far, and also they might not really be able to hold their flight, especially when it's a windy day like it was today for me. What I like to do is also take a break in between shots so you're not just going shot after shot after shot. If you didn't know, the reason why it is 14 shots is because if you're playing a regular 18-hole golf course, par 72, chances are you're not going to hit more than 14 drives because there will be 4 par 3s, so you'll hit a maximum of 14 drivers. If you can get 14 out of 14 on the fairway, you're obviously doing a very good job. My goal is usually to get above 12. This is just one of the examples of games that you can play. Another example would be, for instance, on this driving range, there's a little island there and there's actually a little circle around the flag. The possibilities are honestly endless. There are many ways to make your driving range sessions not only more fun but also more productive. So I hope this video helps you improve your practice sessions and in return helps improve your game and lower your scores as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an episode of Golf with Jen.